actually did adopt a Suffolk lamb. There's some humdingers.
But aren't those lambs a mess? So they were under stress. I figured they got 2 tongues going, 2 lambs, better than one tongue. It's a monster backwards lamb. Like, I can see why she took off. I don't get to name sheep too often. But I'm going to name that little female Bloody Mary. Look at a little bit of heat off that bottle until they're dried off. What we learned from is a guy called Sheep School.
Yeah, the sheep school in Ireland.
And this lamb had his back foot in with her 2 front feet.
Good morning, fellow Utopians. I'm Lynn, and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. It's really cold today and sunny, but it's supposed to cloud over this afternoon, I think, and we're supposed to be getting a storm. So, no lambs overnight. It was really quiet. So, I'm going to tag a bunch of sheep today and hopefully get some more out of jugs, and we'll keep on moving. Anyway, let's go inside and see what's happening in there today. Absolutely nothing happening in the lambing barn today. Everything just shut down. And we were looking at some old videos, and we saw a video in the summer that was taken when the temperatures were up to 40 degrees, and we mentioned that Gladiator wasn't feeling well and we had the fans on. And we're wondering if during that heat wave that everybody stopped cycling and the ram stopped breeding, because it's really weird for it to just shut down like that. So, I mean, they've got udders and everything. It's not like they're open, but it's just totally dead right now. Anyway, we're in this barn. So far, first glance, everyone looks good, but I gotta go through here. Just came out for afternoon chores, and it looks like we got a proud mom here. Hi, Mommy. You're proud. And this, I think, is from Sheriff's Group. Sheriff's Group, right?
Yeah.
Sheriff's almost done his sheep. Oh, and she's yellow. Was that a tough birth, Mom? She's a really old girl of ours. Hopefully she's got milk. This mom is an E-year. So she's one of our older Dorsets. We got her, I think, the same year we got Elsie.
Richmond, Quebec. Classic.
Yeah, and that's when we got Elsie too, I think. But she's had singles and twins. Last year she had 2 ewe lambs. And this year, this big one is a ewe lamb. And then one year she had a single, and someone asked if the different breeds adopt. Don't drink. They asked if the different breeds don't drink the milk, honey. Adopt different other breeds. And she actually did adopt a Suffolk lamb, so she was running around with a white one and a black one. It's a really nice lamb. To be honest, this looks like her best lamb of her career. Last year her lambs were kind of small, but she only had to look after one this year, so I guess that makes a difference. Oh, she's drinking the milk. Honey, I've never seen you do that. Are you thirsty?
Oh, you full now?
Hopefully she's not over full. And she just had a poop. She's had her iodine. She's yellow, so Mom must have had a hard time pushing her out, but she did a great job. Looks like a really nice lamb. And this is a British style ewe. So what I was gonna say, that I think I forgot to say, was that milk we were tubing the lamb with was we milked that nipple out that the lamb's at right now because it was quite engorged. The other nipple looks fine, but this one was really full. So that's an instance where we'll definitely milk the mom first, because you know the problems those big nipples can cause with lambs having a hard time nursing, and the quicker you get the pressure off them, the quicker they go back to normal. And she had fresh milk, so easy milker, and that's what we did. Okay, here comes a couple of real humdingers. Coming out, Mom? Bring them down. Show us what you got. Come on. That's a good girl. There's some humdingers. Go on. There they go. And here comes another Dorset to join the pen. Oh, she's gonna just run off without her lamb. There's a proud mom. Sorry, buddy. Your mom flew the coop. She came back. Did your mom fly the coop on you? Follow your mom. You have to pay attention when your mom turns around. Come on. There she is. See? And you got buddies in here.
So this is, I'm a little out of breath here. So this has been going on for about two and a half hours. This sheep's gonna have a lamb right now too. She might as well help out, I guess. But aren't those lambs a mess? So they were under stress. So the one lamb, the red one, was born backwards. That's why she couldn't have it. It was breech. And the other one was right there. I took it off immediately too because I don't know how long it's been happening. So this is not the mother. The mother's behind there. But I'll just let them have their time with them. That's the mother in the back there. This one here is going to have a lamb right now too. And I got a Suffolk over there with the legs hanging out that I got to go and operate on right now. Yeah, she's going to have a lamb tonight, but she hasn't broke her sack yet. That one over there is the one that had the two lambs. So, right now, I'm just going to, I figured they got two tongues going, two lambs, better than one tongue. So, we'll leave that alone for a few minutes. I got another sheep to look after. It's got his legs hanging out. A Suffolk. From knockout, I got to see what's going on there, and I'll talk to you shortly. Excuse me. So, I just separated the group to the back of the barn. She had the lamb back there. She took off right away to the front of the barn. Excuse me. And it's a monster backwards lamb. Like, I can see why she took off. It's not something you want to have. And it was backwards. So the legs were sticking out about 4 inches. And the rump wasn't even showing yet. It's a real big lamb. So I'm going to just stand here for a few minutes. Hopefully this group stays away. But I think she's looking at it there. I can zoom in a little bit. I'd be shocked if she has another lamb. It's way too big. But I think she's looking at. Probably a first timer, extremely nervous. I better get the other two Dorsets in right now from Hamish. And get them in a clean pen. And I'll leave her alone. I'm pretty sure she's going to stay with the lamb now. And the more that lamb starts talking to her, the better it is. So I'm going to squeeze around her and hopefully don't chase her off. Well, this is the two lambs. I just fed them. The guy getting up is a male, and the little red one is a female. And I don't get to name sheep too often, but I'm going to name that little female Bloody Mary. You know, the British have such great names. I'm going to name that one Bloody Mary, if I can remember it. So this little Bloody Mary here was breech. And you know what breech is? Breech is when the arse end's coming first, and the legs, it's just arse. And the legs are actually back. And so it still was born backwards. But she could never have that lamb unless those legs were to get extended out. So I had to go in there, be very careful with the nails that you don't hurt the mother's uterus, get those legs back, and then get the lamb off. These two lambs would have died if I wasn't here. So I'm glad everything turned out right. Bloody Mary is a little bit tired right now because her brother's laying on her. How up? So did Bloody Mary have a brother? It's Mary Scott's, the Queen of England, wasn't it? I think. So I wonder if she had a brother. We can call that one her brother, if she had a brother. But I mean, I don't know. At that time, they were killing everybody off. So I mean, I don't know who she had or who she didn't have. But I'm going to keep that name on this little lamb, Bloody Mary. A little cold right now. I'm going to let her lick them off. She's a little nervous, so she's not with me. She's afraid of me. She's a first timer. I have to get out of this pen because she has to bond with these two lambs and lick them off. Later on, if I think it's a little cold, because it's extremely cold tonight, I'll probably put a hot water bottle with the lambs and cover them up just to get them dried off a little bit, and then they'll get going. Okay, I got another lamb to look after, a big Suffolk male lamb from Knockout, and we got to get him in a jug and feed him too. So, Bloody Mary here is shaking a little bit, so is the other ones. It's a real cold night tonight. She doesn't want me in the pen. She's a mess. Well, but I tell you what we do is, a lot of times, is we pick up the hot water bottles at the dollar store. They're quite cheap, actually. And fill them up with hot water. And we'll wrap them up because since they got fed, they're probably not going to try to get up for at least a half an hour. And you can see I just got, see the water bottle there? A little bit of heat comes from it. So we're just going to go like this. And they'll get a little bit of heat off that bottle until they're dried off. And we do that quite often. The problem is when they do get up, then it's no good for nothing. But at least it gives them a little bit of heat for the first half an hour. They get dried off. You can see it's shaking a little, see? So, and there is my other ram. He's actually already up. It's a big guy, real big guy. She's a first-time ewe, single lamb. And that lamb was backwards, so that whole back leg was sticking out. And the sheep, I've seen it where they had it on their own, but more than likely she was not going to have that lamb. So lucky I was keeping an eye on things. He's already standing, he'll be fine. Lots of milk on her, and there's lots of milk on this ewe. But this ewe is stressed out of the 2.5 hours of birthing before I intervened. And those lambs need a break right now. And when I leave, she'll go up to the lambs a little bit. So I should get out of here right now and leave her alone. I wouldn't give this guy a hot water bottle because he's already trying to get up. And so I'm going to go to the house and probably have a cup of coffee because I'm getting tired. It's probably about 8:30 now, probably at night. And I'm thinking that ewe there is going to have a lamb in an hour or two. She was a stealer, but she was actually pretty well in labor when I came here too. If she turns around, we'll see if there's any sack hanging out. Oh, and actually there are the feet. Well, I guess I'm not going to have a coffee. Okay, I guess I'll talk to you shortly. I don't want to interfere with that, but I'll start getting the pen ready for... Oh, I don't like to do that. I don't like to get the pen ready before I have the lambs because I could be jinxing it for bad luck. So I'm going to leave the pen alone. The legs are sitting there. I can't tell. Oh, here she goes. Maybe we can see a birthing. Hang on. See if I can get a little closer. See it coming out? Oh, there it is. I'm going to have to make sure it's not buckled. Okay, sorry about that. He still had a little sack over his head, and then he was backwards, a little bit, his head cocked backwards. Another big female from Hamish. So, she might have another lamb. I'm probably not, oh, actually I can't touch the phone. My whole hand is goobers, and I can't get off the Zoom mode. So that's the problem when you're a one-camera operator. This is a ewe that I just looked after. Had a big male lamb from Hamish again. Knockout. Twins from Hamish, or from Hamish back there. So she's a first timer too, and I'm going to leave her. Just check the milk there. She has lots of milk. Just fed the lamb. This lamb wants to get up. The Suffolk's the sharpest one so far. He's already up. And yeah, it's a busy night. So if anybody's driving past Joyceville tonight, drop in, and you can spend the night with me in the barn, because that's probably where I'm going to be. So we'll just get out of here. Oh, my knees are not that good anymore. Hold Lynn to put the coffee on. Just fed the lamb. I'll clean this up, and there's a little Bloody Mary in there. She's sucking on the blanket, so she's doing pretty good. This guy here is right up. Look, he's actually running around already. I don't like this ewe. I know it was a real bad birth, but she's not paying attention to the lambs. But see, now those lambs are going to start crying, so I'm going to get out of here, give her space, and I'll be back in 1 or 2 hours probably and see how things turned out. So there's 4 lambs in 30 minutes.
Good morning, I'm Lynn, and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. It's just awful weather. We had about 6 inches of snow last night, and now we got freezing rain going on top of it, and it's really, really miserable. And to make matters worse, Arnie had a really bad night in the barn last night. So let's go inside and see what happened. So we're going to do a summary of what happened last night, how they are today.
So this was the breech lamb, and she's not acting very well. So we just gave her some drugs for a backup. But I'm thinking she was eating this morning, so she'll be fine.
She's panting a little. So we gave her some painkillers too.
So we're going to have to monitor her for a day or two, see what happens. But the lambs are in there.
Which one is little Mary?
That's Mary down there.
And both of them we haven't really checked the lambs, but they both have their heads up, so they look okay. Yeah. And then we move on to the Suffolk.
So this is a funny story. Want me to tell the story, huh?
Go ahead, tell the story.
So this lamb was backwards. It wasn't breech. Breech means the bums first. Is that correct?
Yep.
And backwards just means backwards. So this one was just backwards. But we weighed a lot of lambs. That's a 15, 16 pound lamb. And she actually delivered it quite easy, but I had to help her, so would you call that easy or not easy? Anyways. But this sheep here, I've been monitoring this sheep for about a month, and this sheep has a really floppy
Vulva?
Vulva, like there's no tone to it. Like, even when she was pregnant, it was just like a balloon, like it was swollen up or something. So I kind of had a suspicion that this sheep might be in trouble. So when I took the lamb off, she's actually quite fleshy around the vulva. Like, I'm not a veterinarian, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I thought it doesn't look normal. And when I came back in an hour and a half, she prolapsed after lambing. So most of the time when they prolapse, I don't have good luck with it. They'll prolapse right past the harness. I have a terrible time with it. Most of the time they go down.
They keep pushing it back out.
So this was a thing. What we did with the rope here is what we learned from is a guy called Sheep School.
Yeah, the sheep school in Ireland.
So we were watching him, and I did learn something.
I think his name's David Beatty.
Yes, maybe, I don't know. So he showed how to put on the rope harness. And I mean, I can step in there and show you roughly how it looks. When we take it off, and now I don't know when to take it off.
Well, I wouldn't take it off today.
So basically, it's hard to explain, but when we take it off, we'll explain it better. It's basically a double rope, and you looped it there, and you pulled the two ropes back. You put a knot right on their hips, a knot, and then you go back and put another knot right on top of the tail head. And then you take the two ropes, and you actually go, one goes right, one rope goes left, right up the back leg here, and then you tie it back in that knot.
And there's nothing poking into her like a spoon or anything.
Nope.
And the spoon we find kind of irritates them. It kind of makes them want to push.
So you can see the rope is going across her vagina and holding it in. But you see how fleshy she is?
Yeah.
It's not normal. I've never seen that before.
I thought she was just rosy because, I mean,
No.
they get like that when they're rosy, but
So she was, this morning she was pushing a little bit, but nothing was happening. And I'm thinking now she's giving up. So I don't know if I'm going to wait. I can ask, maybe ask Rob, the vet, how long she could leave that on before it's safe enough to take it off. 3-4 days? A week?
I would leave it for 3 or 4
I'm
days.
going to imagine it's not too comfortable, but it doesn't seem to be bothering her.
Because she'll be shrinking right now. Plus, we gave her a painkiller, so that will help shrink it quicker too.
But that's the first time I've used a rope harness, and I'll be honest with you, it's way better than the strap harness that you buy. And
Was it harder to put on?
no, no, because well, what happened was when I put it around her chest, okay, the first thing she tried to do is, and the people that have cows know that. When you want to work on a cow and you want to bring a cow down on the knees, you wrap a rope around their chest and the belly, and you just pull on the rope, and the cow will collapse. So when I put the rope around her chest, and then I snugged it up and put the rope around the hips, right away she went down. She wanted to lay down. I think the ropes caused that, but she just stood there. I actually had it on, and I probably had it on about 4 minutes. And we'll see, but I'm thinking I like that a lot better than the harness. The trouble with the harness is just a little strap like that goes down the vagina, and they'll actually push the prolapse right past those straps. But right now, those ropes are actually keeping the whole back in, the muscling and everything, keeping it all in. I think, knock on wood, we'll see what happens, but I think I love that.
But you can learn from every day, even at our age, because we were just watching that thing on Sheep School. Was it yesterday or the day before? And then this happens the next day.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about the Sheep School guy is when he says he's a sheep school, and I hate the word school. So that's what turned me off with him. But I'm past it now. It's just a school.
It means
Who
that
wants to go back to school?
what he means is that with sheep, there's something to learn every day.
So we learned that from him on his video, and I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And this is a Seamus lamb,
Hamish.
Hamish lamb single.
No problems with this one.
No. Actually, that
But
teat looks a little larger.
That's right.
Might
She
think about
has
knocking out.
that. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she has larger nipples, so we gotta watch that lamb can get on. And the clincher that we didn't mention with this sheep is when I scanned her. For all of you who have been with us a couple of years, this is Hunchy. She's gonna have to go backwards again. Hi, your lamb's that way. Turn around. There you go. There's your lammy. There you go. Okay, here comes another mom. With her Dorset. No. Come on. There they go. And Maisie, you were supposed to not come out. And we're gonna come back and check on these guys later.
And she's not pushing, so.
So far, so good. Did you hear who I said it was?
Sorry?
Did you hear who I said she was?
Who was she?
She's a famous sheep.
Who?
Hunchy.
Oh, is that really Hunchy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's a ewe coming in. I'm not sure if she's trying to keep it in or she wants to have it. But it's been going on for about an hour. So I'm just going to check it out if there's anything obvious wrong with it. And I'm going to proceed, but I'm thinking there's something wrong with that picture. So this is her. So there was a problem. So the lamb on the left was coming with the head and 2 feet, and this lamb had his back foot in with her 2 front feet. So all I could feel were 3 feet. So you think I could have determined that 1 foot was backwards, which I couldn't determine. It was kind of confusing. I've seen this quite often. I don't like it. I pulled on lambs where I was pulling on the wrong foot. So this turned out okay. I made a good judgment. The judgment I made was that the lamb that was backwards, I think I just said that, or did I not? That lamb was born backwards. That one was ahead. So what I determined is that this leg was a little smaller in the bone size than the one that was ahead with the 2 bigger bone legs. So I made the decision that leg didn't belong there, and I tried to push it back a little bit. It was the right decision. And 2 live lambs, actually 2 males. So she's a little bit not a natural birth for her, but everything's fine. And we'll get these 2 lambs in the jug. And these come from Hamish again. He's doing quite well right now. I think he's got 15 ewes to go in his group, so he's been lambing out quite heavily. So I like Hamish because I think Hamish, of all the Dorset rams we have, Hamish is, I said it before, Hamish is the true Dorset ram. He has all the proper markings, the ears, the wool cover, and everything. He's the proper one. So I'm looking forward to getting good lambs off of him because I want to keep the Dorsets looking like Dorsets. So I'm going to get these 2 in the jug and get them fed. And I'll talk to you shortly, I guess.
Well, that's it for another day. The weather's starting to get nasty again. As you could see by today's video, not everything goes as planned, but fingers crossed, everything looks like it's turned out okay. So until tomorrow, bye for now.